उदितां भगवतां नारायणस्य
येन प्रतितां पुराणम्
अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणि
भगवद्गीतां अम्बत्वामनुसन्ददामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी. My audio is okay?
Yes, everything is. நம்ம ஆடியோ பாருங்க. இல்ல கரெக்ட்டா. நிமிஷம் குறைஞ்சிருக்கு. ஓகே.
तपोम्यहमहं वर्षं निगृह्णां युज्यजामि च अमृतं चैव मृत्युश्च सदसश्चाह अर्जुन
Tapamyaham varsham. 1 minute. Just let me repeat that. Tapamyaham aham varsham nigrinamyu nigrunami utsrujami amrutam chaiva mrityuscha sada sat cha aham arjuna. Difficult compounds actually. Sat, asat, cha aham arjuna. Both sat and asat, cha aham arjuna. That's what he says.
Yeah. Tapami aham, I heat up. Aham varsham nigrinami, I withhold the gun. Utsrujami cha, and I release it. Amritam cha, and I am immortal. Mrityush eva cha. Mituhu eva cha, and I am also the death. I am also death. Cha, and aham, I am. Sat, asat, cause and effect. Arjuna, oh Arjuna. Actually, sat and asat means cause and effect.
Yeah, actually here he is mentioning like that, or it can be like Satyam and Mithya.
Yeah.
Sat is Satyam, Asat is Mithya. Satyam and Mithyam. Basically what he says is, effect is, cause is Satyam, Brahman, effect is Mithya. So cause and effect means Satyam and Mithya basically.
Okay.
And some places, such a Ketchad, which I have explained before, that is movable and immovable, or living and non-living. All those opposites are possible. But here, cause and effect, in the context of the Bhagavan says, declares that I am both cause and effect. Because Karanam and Karyam is a Srishti Prakriya, meaning how creation is. But what finally Bhagavan says is, see, Karyam is Mithya. Karyam is Mithya, meaning Karyam is Karanat Ananyat. Karyam cannot be without Karanam. So if Karyam is Mithya, Karanam also is Mithya. That way, the Karana Karya Prakriya is introduced just to falsify both. Finally, only Brahman alone is Sat Brahman. So Satyam alone is, everything else is Mithya. But we won't accept it because we are dealing with everything in the world. So we will, the Shastra, what it does, okay, whatever word and elaborately explains and says that everything is changing. So changing means it is Mithya, and the changing is, there is an Adhishtanam, that is Ishvara, you call it, or Atma, whatever you call it. The Adhishtanam, without the Chaitanyam, without that, without the order, this changing reality itself is not possible. Who is the one who is the Niyanta, Niyati, Antaryami, who is making all this order possible, is also the Chaitanya being, that is Paramatma, Ishvara, whatever you call it. But since this changing is all the time changing, that Karyam is changing means the Karanam also has to be only of the same order of reality. That means it is also changing. That is why it is called Maya. Maya means always it is as though only. It is just in order to I explain that is முள்ளை முள்ளால் எடுக்கணும்னு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா, அதே மாதிரி because this is the karyam, you are saying that it is okay, I am doing all these things and all, yes, but it comes from only a changing karanam, which is maya, continuously changing, Ishvara Vibhuti, whatever you call it. That is also all the time changing. The Ishwaratvam as well as the Jivatvam, Jagat, all are changing all the time, like Nataraja we have told. So then what is the moolam for all that? Is the Nirguna Brahman with Nirvisheshanam, which we have told. That is only Satyam, finally. That is Nirvisheshanam. Like, we don't have to go at the Ishvara level itself, even at our level, because I am there as Nirvisheshanam all the time. I am able to perceive and transact with the changing world all the time. But I am there, Uttastam, as the changeless. That is why I am able to perceive a world. If I don't know that I am changeless, like even an animal or a plant, I can't perceive the plant or the animal does not perceive a world. They just live their life and go. That's it. They don't call it a world. But we call it a world and we make a big issue of it. The world is very difficult and all that. But who is calling it a world? I am calling it a world. You are calling it a world. He is calling it a world. And our worlds do not, sometimes occasionally we meet properly. Otherwise we cross. Then we say, you are not okay with me, I am not okay with you. As long as the meeting point is okay, it's fine. So the whole thing is, we are right from morning, as we get up, we create, each of us create our own world. And then that becomes a big issue. Whereas, what Bhagavan says is, the changing thing changes, and you are giving the changing world a reality. And then say it is frightening. Whereas, what he says, your reality as well as Ishvara's reality is only the changeless. The changing is only like a movie. That is why he says cause and effect. Sat and Asat, cause and effect. The effect is the Jagat, the world, Jiva, Bolo, or Jagat, whatever Ishvara, whatever you call, everything is changing. Asat meaning changing. Sat is the being, cause. Cause of the cause, ultimate cause. Avyayam and Avyaktat Param Avyayam. That is our reality. That is the only Satyam that can hold. That is why he uses the word of cause and effect. Yeah.
I heat up the world and I withhold and release the rain. I am immortal and I am also death. I am cause and effect, Arjuna. Aham tapami. I heat up, I energize, I light up the world. Being the sun, I light up and heat up this world. Because of heat, water evaporates and the rain begins. It's a cycle. When the earth gets parched, water vaporizes, then Aham Varsham Utsrijami. I, the one who heated up the earth, now release the rain as a law governing rain. Then I hold it back, Nigranami. This is as easily seen, especially in India. For 8 months I withhold the rain, then in the 4 months of the monsoon season, I pour down the rain. In other words, I am the seasons. Seasons are very important. In the network of natural laws, seasons are one of the things we are able to predict. Their predictability is because of the laws, and Bhagavan says he is in the form of those laws. Amritam Chayeva. I am that punya because of which the gods become gods and who enjoy certain ananda and immortality. Mrityuhu Yevacha. I am the punya papa because of which all the mortals come into being and then die. It can also be taken that I am Lord Death, the very principle or law of death. You cannot get away from God. Even if you die, death itself is me. Death is me and Amrita, life also is me. In other words, Sat Asat Cha Aham. Something that has a form which you are able to recognize and for which you have a name like pot, tree, leaf and so on, is called Sat. Asat in this context is not a non-existing thing, but what existed before the manifestation of the Nama Rupa, name and form. The manifest form is Sat. and the unmanifest form is Asat. In other words, the effect is referred to as Sat here and the cause is referred to as Asat. In effect, Bhagavan is saying here that he is both the cause and effect. By this Karana Karya Vada, cause-effect method, what is pointed out is Bhagavan is Satya and everything else is Mithya, which is non-separate from him, that is Brahman. The whole Karana Karya Vada is from the standpoint of the creation. The creation itself is Mithya. Later, there will be another statement saying, I am neither Sat nor cause nor Asat effect. At the same time, I am both cause and effect. Please understand how important it is to continuously have these two strands of thinking. One is Adhyaropa, superimposition. I am the cause and I am the effect. The other is Nisheda Apavada, a negation. I am neither cause nor effect. Both need to be said only when the Swarupa of Atma will be properly understood.
This is what we normally say, no? Adhyaropa apavadabhyam nishprapancham prapanchate, which I had many times talked to you also. Since the prapancham and nishprapancham is basically a prakriya, a sushti prakriya, a model for us to explain whatever we are confronting the world, the so-called world, what we have, how it is, how the model of prapancham, how the panchabhuta, what they call panchikritam, panchabhuta, elements and elementals, how this whole deity, how everything is in constant motion at the same time, giving us a feeling that there is something for a world. All these things is called Nishprapancham Prapanchate. This is Adhyarupam. Adhyarupam is Adhishtanam, Satyam. On Satyam, the Adhishtanam, Aropitam. Like even Shaligrame Vishnum Dhyaye. In Puja we do, no? On Shaligrama we bring in Vishnu and we are in the same way on Brahman, which is Arupa, which you cannot, Desa Kala Vastu Parichinnam. You cannot understand anything. But what are all these changing things? That is Aropitam. On the same Desa Kala Vastu Parichinna Vastu and then negated. Because they are changing and we don't have any Tatparyam or any interest in the changing. We want to be a changeless Purna Atma. Yeah, even Bhagavan says, yes, you are changeless Purna Atma only. But since you are talking about this transacting world and all, I said, how is it? Like even Shaligrame Vishnu Dhyaye, on the Adhishthana Brahman, all this cause effect, both the changing world is brought into being by Maya, the Maya Shakti of the same Brahman, same Atma. By Maya Shakti, the whole thing is brought about. Like cause and effect, Panchabhuta is the cause, then our body and the Jagat is the effect, you can say. Because the Jagat as well as you and me are also made of Panchabhuta only. But originally they were Panchabhuta without what you call Lalita Sahasranam when it comes, no? But it's Tanmatra Sagayaha. You get no Tanmatra Sagayaha word.
ತನ್ಮಾತ್ರಶಾಯ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕವಾಗಲ್ಲ ತನ್ಮಾತ್ರ ವಿಚಾರದ ಪ್ರಭಾವ ವಿಷ್ಣು ಸಹಸ್ರನಾಮ நினைக்கிறேன்
Tanmatra Sahayaka வருமே இதுல வருது Lita Sahasranam only. So Tanmatra Sahayaka meaning Tanmatra is the Panchabhuta even before it became Panchabhuta. Panchabhuta, they say Panchikaranam, how the whole thing is explained. In that Avyakritat Param, that Avyakritat Param Avyayam, then Mahat, then Panchikaranam, that all the elements, how the elements come into being, that there is the Apanchikrita Akasam is one half, and the rest of the half is the other four elements. There is Vayu, Prithvi, But not. See, it's like even if you look at a strand of sunlight that comes through a small hole in the morning, if you look, you can see in that there will be a lot of particles also.
Yes.
So that is Prithvi, water also is there, heat also is there, and light also, everything is there. That streak of light that comes in the early morning sun through a hole, you can see all that. But you will predominantly see only space, only the light or light. But everything, all the five are there. Likewise, the whole thing around us, all the five Panchabhutas are always there, outside and inside. But as they become concentrated, as they become visible, because of our own, like our Pancha Indriyas are something like ball and socket. In I think engineering terms, they call it ball and socket. The sense, eyes can see only Rupa and the color. Ears can hear only sound. Like that. See, all the five Indriyas can see only particular aspect of the Panchabhuta. So we think that there are five. Actually, there is only one light of consciousness inside. Whereas they appear as five beams of the eyes, ears, etc., etc. So the whole thing is right from the beginning, like Panchikaranam and then the elements and the elementals and the individual bodies. Our bodies have same unique cell structure. One cell structure, one part of it, if you open and another part you close, a heart cell will become a kidney cell. One part you open, another part you close, a kidney cell will become a brain cell. So like that, every cell is a unique cellular structure, everything can become everything else. The whole thing, it is purely because of the niyati, like Antaryami, the niyati, niyanta. So, and all five elements become five elementals, and five elementals become cells, and cells becomes various yonis. Human yoni is different from pig yoni and all that, but they have got a common structure. That is what works in the pig works in you, medicine. So all those things, the whole thing, it's only what do you call it? Mayajalam is really Mayajalam, but available for it because it is Ishvara's Mayajalam. It's very empirical. The same Krishna Kumar yesterday is the same Krishna Kumar today, so I am able to transact. So we think it is Ashwadam, which is not. He is changed, I have also changed. It gives an appearance. That is why it's called appearance. Appearance is Mithya, nothing but that. Whereas, what is real Shashwadam is Satyam. And there is no Mithya without Satyam, because the Mithya's Adhishtanam itself is Satyam. It is not an you and I created, it is a Satyam. Because of its glory, it is able to differentiate and make it available for transaction, for good and bad transaction. Good transaction is, I would say, vichara, the glory of Bhagavan. We are able to sing because we are different. But at the same time, if you don't understand it, you understand it wrongly or misuse it, then you get into trouble and you say, Bhagavan has created trouble for me. So, beautiful it is. The whole thing is self-sustaining, but if you understand, then you are beyond cause and effect. If you don't understand, you are subject to cause and effect. There again, if you appreciate Ishvara, cause and effect will not threaten you because you are not alienated from Ishvara. Okay, Ishvara is separate, but I am not alienated from him. Everything is given, everything is within that Ishvara. I accept, I Saranagati, all those things. Even that attitude is good enough. Bhagavata, and Bhagavan. If the attitude is one of Bhagavata and Bhagavan, there is not much of a difference. You are aligned. Even if you are aligned, the fear will not be there. And later, once the fear is not there and you are aligned and you have a Shanta Bhakti, then you will also understand over a period of time by inquiry, by study and all that it's one and the same. There is no difference between me and Bhagavan. The reality is only one. Everything else appears different. It's only a vibhuti of my own vibhuti or Ishvara's vibhuti. Either way you can say. That is how it is. The whole thing is explained that way only. That is why this Sat and Asat, cause and effect has to be understood in that meaning. Yeah.
Swamiji, Dadhyaropa Avavadabhyam Prapancham
Nishprapancham Prapanchate is a prakriya basically. Yeah. Nishprapancham is Nirvishesham, they have told, and Prapanchate is appears as Prapancham. Yeah.
What is said here is that Bhagavan is a potential cause and the created object, and in fact is free from all of them, because he is the basis for both. The Sat and Asat, that is cause and effect in this verse, are both mithya. Since I am both, cause and effect are negated. Now Bhagavan talks about those who are ignorant of Atma Swarupa but have Shraddha in the Vedas, the rituals, prayers, and the afterlife. Even for this there must be some maturity. Though it is not adequate for Viveka, Bhagavan describes them in the next verse.
Swamiji, so in effect, this verse, this stanza, the sloka, it says that both Asat, beyond Asat and Sat, there is a...
Both are mithya and both are in my domain only. Both are mithya. That is what people may not even accept, that Ishwaratvam, how it can be mithya. But Bhagavan himself is saying, both Sat and cause and effect are mithya.
Okay.
Only I am Satyam. Likewise, if you understand, you are Satyam. Your body, mind, senses are mithya. That is, you are Satyam. Likewise, Bhagavan is Satyam. Bhagavan's created Jagat is his body, mind and senses. That also is mithya, and Jiva also is mithya. Because a mithya world cannot come from a Satyam cause. If Karyam is mithya, Karyam is not separate from Karanam, so Karanam also has to be mithya. Then if Karanam and Karyam both are mithya, the whole thing is mithya. Where is Satyam? That question will come. He says the changeless Swarupa is Satyam, which is giving an appearance of changing Sat and Asat. So it's only an appearance. So the question is very correct. How both cause and effect are mithya, then what is Satyam? Changeless. What is not mithya is Satyam. What does it mean? Mithya is dependent, is a dependent reality. Depending on what? Satyam. Because it is dependent, it is always changing. Whereas Satyam is Kutastham, which we have said Kutastham means like an anvil, like a Nirvisheshna, or like right now we can see what we are every day morning as we get up, we are Nirvishesha. Immediately once we attach our I am so and so, then Vishesha starts. Till then it is Nirvishesha only. The night, all of us, whether it is a Ambani or a beggar, both of them are Nirvishesha Atma in the sleep. Differentiation immediately as soon as we get up it comes. That is why we are also Srishtikarta. We are beyond cause and effect when we are in sleep. Cause and effect comes into play as soon as we wake up. Every day we are Srishtikarta. That is a simulation, what I am telling, to our own understanding. At the same time, same thing happens in the Pralaya is like sleep. And once, so Kamaya, Bhagavan says, everything comes in. Because from the previous kalpa, before the Pralayam happened, whatever previous kalpa was there, whatever balance karma, different yonis, all are coming in to fructify the next kalpa, straight away. Then they will say, which was the first kalpa? Before everything, he says, this is how I am. That in the sense, this is my vibhuti. This is how I have always been there. But you call it kalpa, certain pralayam, because when I go to sleep, you call it pralayam. When I come awake, you call it like our own sleep. Yesterday, that is why we are born. There is no point in celebrating birthdays, because every day we are born. Every day is a birthday, honestly speaking. But we forget the night part of it. We think that we have been living 25 years, 26th birthday. So many nights have passed in between when you have died for the previous night. So it's all fallacies, right? No. If you scrutinize, that is why they say, Vicharam na sahate. That's what Swamiji used to do. There is a famous statement in the Shastra. Vicharam na sahate. If you inquire, you will falsify the whole thing. If you don't inquire, as long as you don't inquire, everything is okay. You can just transact, you can pass. But if you inquire, you will find that there is no point in celebrating birthdays. Every day you are born. Every day you are gone in the night. Next day you are morning. And it's better to be like that. Live one day at a time, they say, no. That way you don't forget all your grudges of the previous day, start afresh. Generally, even with all the trouble, once you go have a good sleep, next day morning you feel fresh and you feel, okay, I think I was unnecessarily afraid in the night. I think everything turned out okay. Most of the days you will feel that way. Even though we would have slept with a lot of problems in the night, when you had a good sleep, next day morning when you get up, no, I think I was too unnecessarily afraid. I think we can manage. Most of the time, there will be a feeling. There may be some serious trouble, no doubt. But that is how it is. That is the reality. Every day morning we are starting the day afresh. We have that attitude, no? I think a lot of things fall in place. Yeah.
Swamiji, one more thing. He says Pitamaha, the previous verse. So there is no cause.
Yeah, that is why that is Hiranyagarbha.
And that's what.
Hiranyagarbha is called Pitamaha because
you explained Aham Pitamaha. You explained it as Avyakrita Vyakritaha. Okay, so that means he is the cause. I mean, not cause. I mean, from Avyakritam
to Vyakrita. Yeah.
So the Avyakritam is the
Pitamaha. And the Vyakrita is the father. Something similar.
So, but here, in this, so in this verse also, but here he says even that Vyakritam is not, Vyakritam is the effect. I mean, effect.
Yeah, Vyakritam is the effect. Vyakritam is what I was telling is that before the Panchikritam, whatever is there is Avyakritam. That is grandfather. Yeah. Before Panchikritam. Here he is talking about
Maya is to be taken as the cause. Prakriti Maya is the cause.
Yes.
So both are asset.
One step further. So as a simulation, one step further is father's father and grandfather, like that. But there is no real Tatparyam in the grandfather, Pitamaha and all. Just for us to understand, that's all. That total like Brahman, Mahat, then Panchikaranam, then Jagat, then Jiva, like that. So Brahman is uncaused cause, Abhyakta Param Abhyayam. Only that is Jiva Atma, Paramatma, that is changeless, the being, our being, which we have been discussing that. That is the original. That is Nirguna Atma, Nirguna Parabrahman. That's what it is. Then it becomes Saguna Parabrahman. That is the Pitamaha. And then the Panchikaranam. Then the Jagat. And then the Jivas. So the Jagat onwards also only the real effect comes into being. Till then it is only in Vyakrita form. We cannot even perceive it. But it is a precursor. That is why it is called Prakriti. As I explained, precursor means Prakriti. Just Maya, the differentiation starts. That is, from Brahman, the raw material for differentiation, Maya, starts. Maya does not have anything, but Maya becomes the Panchikritam Tanmatra Sayaka. And then Tanmatra Sayaka becomes the elements. And the elementals. Then there are the Golakas like earth and all those things. That is only again, as I say, how exactly it is happening, we don't know. This is a model of the Shastra. Like even cosmology, they give a model, Big Bang, Darwin's theory, etc. Shastra gives this sort of model. So our Tatparyam is not in the model. Our Tatparyam is about the reality. What is Satyam and Mithya? So that is what we should be concentrating on. Then we should pay our attention to what is the reality of all this. That is where our attention should be, and that reality, once we pay attention to it, we know that as of now, what we are discussing, as of now when we are discussing, the being is what is seeing or what you call feeling the body, the mind, the senses, all our transactions, all our feelings, all our intellection, all those things. I am able to see what I know and what I don't know also I see. Who is that? That being is the Nirguna Parabrahma in each one of us. And that is the Tatparyam. That is the Tatparyam.
See, just for my own understanding, Bhagavatam says that Brahman, Moola Prakriti, Mahat, Gunas, Ahankaram. Okay, and ahankaratlayum tamasa ahankaram, sattviga ahankaram, and mari. So here, what we should say, what we should, Moola Prakriti da, that starts, asat starts, yeah.
Yeah, in the sense, ahankaram, sattva-guna, tamo-guna, prajo-guna for the individual is the ahankara's thing. But
So the
for
creation of Jagat, the creation
of Jagat, it is...
Ahankara is Devas, Satvika Ahankara alla Devakal. ரஜசிக் வந்து நம்ம கர்மேந்திரிய அண்ட் ஞானேந்திரியங்கள்லாம், அப்புறம் தாமச அகங்காரத்துல இருந்து ஆல் திஸ் பஞ்சபூதாஸ் அண்ட் அதர் திங்ஸ் கம்னு அப்படிதான் வருது பாகவதத்துல they say.
But again, when even though the Panchabhutas are called what do you call tamasa, but each of them become a devata. If you really look at the Upanishad, each of them become a devata. At that time, Sattva-guna, Raja-guna also come into being. So each of us, we are a mixture of Sattva, Rajas, Tamo.
Yes, yes.
Likewise, every devata also is like that. The devata knows that he is from Param Brahma, then for him the Sattva-guna is Pradhana. If he doesn't know, then Vishasmat Vatapavate, he will be afraid of Ishvara. The same Ayu Devata will be afraid. For him, if Tamoguna and Rajaguna is predominant. So, the whole thing is only a, Srishti Prakriya, continuous permutation, combination of exactly. But even what Bhagavatam says, it is only a temporary, a model explanation of what it is all about. We should, what I am trying to say is that we have to go into scrutinize the reality behind the whole thing. The reality is not...
That is what I am also trying to understand. So, Nirguna Brahman, then Moola Prakriti. So, the Moola Prakriti lende the Asat starts, yeah, from my understanding.
Once Prakriti comes, Asat starts. Precursor for all the varieties. The differentiation itself is Asat only. Because there is no reality, there is no differentiation.
Okay.
In front of Parabrahman, there is no differentiation. The differentiation means Prakriti. That means Sattva-guna, Tamo-guna, all those things have come into play. Moola Prakriti has come into play. So, Moola Prakriti is Maya, actually. And that you don't know is your avidya. So, the combination of avidya and Maya is Jiva. Whereas Bhagavan wields the Maya, he doesn't have avidya. So he becomes a Srishti Karta because he doesn't have avidya. We have avidya, so we are afraid. So because of avidya only samsara. Whereas Bhagavan, even though he is also building a Maya Prakriti, he is not a samsari because he doesn't have avidya.
Yes, yes.
That's all the difference between Ishvara and Jiva. Jiva has avidya, Ishvara does not have avidya.
Yes, I understood. That's what.
Yeah.
Verse 20, the knowers of the Vedas gain heavenly pleasures. Traividya mam somapaha bhuta Traividya mam somapa puta papa yajnairishva swargatim pratayante te punyamasadya surendra lokam ashnanti divyan divideva bhogan. Traividyaha, those who know the three Vedas. Somapaha, those who perform the ritual in which Soma is offered. Putapaha, those who are purified of their papas. Mam, me. Yajnaihi, with rituals. Ishtva, having propitiated. Sargatim prartayante, they pray to go to heaven. Punyam surendra lokam, the world of Indra, which is a result of their punya. Asadhya, gaining divi in heaven. They, divyan deva bhogan, the heavenly pleasures of the celestials. Ashnanti, enjoy. The knowers of the three Vedas, who perform the ritual in which Soma is offered, and thereby being purified of their papas, having propitiated me with rituals, they pray to go to heaven. Gaining the world of Indra, which is a result of their punya, they enjoy the heavenly pleasures of the celestials in heaven. Traividyaha, those by whom the three Vedas Rig, Yajus and Sama are studied. Each Veda is a Vidya and together they are called as Trividya. The people who have studied the three Vedas are called Trividyaha. These people have learned how to chant them and perhaps also know how to perform rituals. Somapaha. Here is a good example of how a translation can be misleading. The literal translation is conversant with the lore of the three Vedic texts, Rig, Yajus and Sama. They drink the Soma juice and are cleansed of their sins by that very drink. Swamiji, 1 minute, I'll close the door and come. The work going on.
Actually, Swamiji, we have one Vedam like Somapa, Asomapa, Nigadavya, Kyata. This is a Surya Namaskaram we have seen. Is it related to that Somapa?
Soma, actually Swamiji itself will explain what is Soma and all that. There is Soma juice, there is a lot of controversy in that actually. What was the Vedic Soma juice and what we are referring to it today, there is a lot of controversy. Honestly, I am not very sure. Swamiji will explain. One of the classes only will tell. We will get to that. Soma drink, yeah.
Shankara too says, Tenaiva Soma Panena Puta Papaha Suddha Kilbishaha. By drinking the Soma, they are cleansed of their papas. But it is not what is meant here. It is not to be understood that by merely drinking the Soma, they are cleansed of their sins. This is a technical expression. How should it be interpreted? Somapas are those who drink Soma. There is a ritual called Soma Yaga that is done for gaining Punyaloka. In the ritual, the juice of a creeper called Soma is offered to the Lord and the worshippers take the Sesha, whatever is left over, as prasada. Those who perform and participate in the Soma ritual are therefore called Somapas. Somapas are people who have performed these rituals and who have partaken the Soma as a part of the ritual and not those who merely drink the Soma juice. So technically, the word Somapa stands for the one who has done the Soma Yaga. Such people are Puta Papas, relatively free from wrong actions. The purification talked about here is not elimination of Raga Dvesha. Because they have Shraddha, they avoid Vishiddha karmas, actions that are not to be done, and do these Kamya karmas, rituals prompted by desires. There is nothing wrong in it because these karmas are Vaidika and are in keeping with Dharma. They also perform the daily and occasionally prescribed rituals which cleanse them of the effects of any wrong actions they may do. Thereby they become Puta Papas, cleansed from Papas and are able to do these rituals. They do not do any terrible deeds and whatever small wrongs they may do are neutralized by the prescribed duties, Nitya Naimittika Karmas, which they do diligently because of their Shraddha in the Vedas. This is wonderful. Even though they are doing Kamya Karmas, as long as they follow Dharma, one day they will gain Viveka. Now they lack the Viveka because they are performing these rituals for better lokas. They are not Karma Yogis. They are prayerful, faithful people, but at the same time they are only interested in obtaining desired ends like heaven and so on because they have not properly ascertained what they are seeking. They lack Purushartha Nishchaya. Artha, security, Kama, pleasures, Dharma and Punya become very important to them. All these three Purusharthas are really worthless, but they pursue them because they do not know what they are really seeking. Over the shoulders of these pursuits, they are aiming at moksha, freedom. Because they do not pause and ask, am I a seeker? Why am I seeking? These pursuits become very important.
The video is gone.
Video is gone.
Now it's okay. Now it is okay. Yeah.
Mam yajnaihi ishtva Sargatim Prarthayati. Mam yajnaihi Ishtvadan
Ishtva.
Ishtva Swargatim Pratayante. Pray to me, Parameshwara, through the forms of Indra, Varuna, Agni and all the other devatas. Having worshipped or invoked me through various rituals like Agnishtoma, what do they request? Swargati, going to heaven, or heaven as the very end. They have heard that they will have lot of pleasant experiences there and can remain there for a long time without aging. It is a kind of relative immortality. This promotional material for heaven is available in the Veda, supported by the Puranas, etc. Naturally, without thinking, they pray to me for going to heaven. Te punyam Surendra Lokam Asadhya. These people gaining Surendra Loka, the world of Indra, Lord of the Celestials. This world is called Punya Loka because going there is the result of good karma. Heaven is called Punya Loka because it is the result of Punya Phala. Punya alone is useless. You have to encash it. Even money is the same. You have to convert it into a house, a swimming pool, a Mercedes car and so on to enjoy the benefits. Sorry. This is all Punya Phala. This is all Punya Phala is about. The result of Punya, which they gain by various rituals they perform, is going to the heaven called Surendra Loka. Once they have reached there, what do? Ashnanti, they enjoy with eyes and ears. It seems in heaven, merely seeing satisfies you. If you have hunger, you need not eat at all. The very sight of all the edibles is enough. Then there are more subtle pleasures like music and so on. In heaven, the sense organs are predominant and their enjoyments are out of the ordinary.
What do we say, no? Even Naivedyam and all, we are supposed to do it hot because the devatas are all Paroksha Priya. By just looking at the flavor, no, that comes, they get fulfilled. Their hunger is fulfilled by just seeing the flavor. So that is why you cannot do Naivedyam for taking it out from the fridge and offering to the Lord. You have to, it should be cooked food. You should have some Avi Varnam. Then only it is Paroksha Priya. Then they will bless you by just taking the flavor or vapors and you will get the food. We don't have to worry that they will take it away. But at the same time, you have to give hot. That is why Naivedyam has to be freshly made, not from the fridge. Yeah.
And the enjoyments are, what do they enjoy there? Divya and Deva Bhogan, the heavenly objects of enjoyments. Divya is heavenly, not what is known here, Shankara says. The dance and music here in this world is nothing compared to what you will see there. They are Divya Bhogas, heavenly enjoyments, not these worldly ones. And where do they enjoy these? Divi, in that heaven. They are Deva Bhogas meant only for Deva Bhogas. Deva Bhogas meant only for the celestials, not for mere mortals, the worldly ones. There is a catch in all this, which Bhagavan tells in the next verse. Verse 20.
I think Prashant can read, no? Can you read?
Prashant, what happened?
Yes, Swamiji. I can.
Yeah, read. Verse 21.
Such people who are desirous of various objects gain only samsara. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Etvam bhutva swargalokam vishalam shine punye martyalokam vishanti evam trayi dharma manuprapannaha gatagatam kama kamalapante.
Shine Punye Martyalokam Vishanti. Many times we have discussed. Yes. Even before I have told this. Shine Punye Martyalokam Vishanti. Yeah. What happened? Your audio video is gone.
Sorry?
Read. Yes.
From that Vishalam vast Swarga Lokam heaven, Uktva having enjoyed, Shine Punye when their Punya is exhausted, Martya Lokam, the world of mortals, Vishanti, enter, Evam, in this manner, Trayi Dharmam Anuprapannaha, following the rituals in the three Vedas, Kama Kamaha, Kama Kamaha, those who are desirous of various ends, Gata Gatam, the condition of coming and going, Samsara Labante, gain. These people, having enjoyed that vast heaven, enter the world of mortals when their punya is exhausted. In this manner, following the rituals in the three Vedas, those who are desirous of various ends gain the condition of repeated going and coming samsara. Swargalokam Vishalam, the vast heaven. The vastness is in terms of plenty, in terms of variety, and also in terms of time. Uttva, having enjoyed this vast Swargaloka, Shine Punye, when all the punya is exhausted, what happens to them? Martya Lokam Vishanti, they are simply dropped down and enter the world of mortals. They thought they were Amritas, immortals, when they were there. Suddenly, they become mortals. They find themselves in another world where everything is different, the body, birth, childhood, and all its problems, a place where death looms large, which is full of bugs and people who irritate you, where death is the rule and change is the routine. Thus, they enter again the very place from which they sought to escape. They return to square one. If you realize this, you develop viveka and vairagya. Such statements are meant to make you turn towards yourself. The Shastra always tries to drive you to a corner from where you cannot but seek moksha. The cause for these people going to heaven is punya, so their stay there will last only as long as punya, the cause remains. The physical body they enjoy in heaven is earned by previous punya karma, and for every experience they have there, they have to encash from their punya. When the last of the punya is exhausted, they come back to Martya Loka, the world of mortals. From this, it is very clear that what is called Amrita Loka is really not Amrita, immortal. It is here a mistake is often committed. Because heaven is presented in the Shastra as Amrita, which literally means that which is not subject to death, heaven is misunderstood as eternal. But the immortality here is relative. With reference to your time frame, Swargaloka is considered relatively eternal. A day of the Devas is much longer than a day here. Most of the ologies have adopted this Vedic concept of Amrita Loka as an eternal heaven, but it is referential eternity, not timelessness, that is moksha. This is why when the punya that took them to go to heaven and experience the heavenly enjoyments day after day is exhausted, they come back. This is why when the punya that took them to go to heaven and experience the heavenly enjoyments day after day is exhausted, they come back. Moreover, they cannot extend their stay by doing new karmas and gather new punya because they have no doership there, only enjoyership. Therefore, they come back. Evam trayi dharmam anuprapanna.
Very like all Puranas, all our like Smriti Granthas, generally this they praise this Swargaloka and all that. It is only apekshika immortality. Relative to this world, they are better off. That's all. That it doesn't make you immortal. The only way for you to become immortal is to know that you are immortal here and now. Because you are a Nirguna Parabrahma. The only understanding can make you immortal, and because that is your that is what the evolution is all about. As human being, you are here and now. Understand that your Swarupa is Nirguna Parabrahma. All the time there is no, you are not a Desakala, you are Desakala Vastu Aparichinnam. Because you are not a thing, you are eternal, timeless. It is not a time-bound eternity, which is called apekshika moksha. Apekshika moksha in the sense, compared to here, you are better off there. That's all. But it is not atyantika moksha. Atyantika moksha is here and now understanding that your Swarupa and Ishvara Swarupa are one and the same. So that is why human being, Jandunam Narajanam Durlabham, everyone has to come back here and now. Even in Brahmaloka, if Indra, like Dharmaraja, got understanding from Brahma, there also he has to understand there and now, here and now that I am Parabrahman. So the understanding has to happen here and now, not after going anywhere. So the only when you understand here and now, I am Nirguna Parabrahma, moksha is guaranteed because you don't have to gain moksha, you are mukta, and everything else is mithya. The whole thing is a changing reality. I am the changeless, kutastha, and my Swarupa and Ishvara Swarupa are one and the same. That understanding alone can give you timelessness as moksha, not eternal heaven. The differentiation you have to understand. That is where all our Vedika Sampradaya, all our Puranas and all that, when we read it also we must be very clear. This is the reality of that. Bhagavan. That is why the Bhagavad Gita is very important in understanding that. Yeah.
Actually, so if you keep reading Ramayana and Bhagavatam, you get to understand that heaven is not a very immortal, I mean, like you said, no immortal place. They are better than us, that's all. They also have their indriyas.
Correct, relatively better. You are right.
Keep reading a lot of Puranas to get that understanding. I feel that is my experience.
Yeah, it's true. Bhagavatam especially, is lot of Vedanta is there in that. If you the right, if you don't skip the Vedanta portion and read only the story, it's a different thing. There are people that it is amenable for Kada Kalakshepam as well as Vedanta discussion. But people like, there are some acharyas, they take it only as a Vedanta text, Bhagavata, and not as a like what do you call Kada Kalakshepam and all that. Very true. Yeah.
Swamiji, actually, from our early childhood, we are told this is Pabam, this is Punyam. If you do this, it's Punyam. If you don't do this, it's a Pabam. If you don't do Sandhya Vandanam, you get correct Pabam. All that. Why is it so?
Either the people, the elders, they themselves have not inquired, so they want compliance. The only way to get compliance is that if you don't do this, you will get punished. Like even every other, if you don't do homework, you will get punished the next day. So you do homework. If you don't do Sandhya, you won't get your coffee. Something like that. So it is all, actually it is because of lack of, either they have not inquired and they have not got the right teacher, they have not understood. But when they have to pass it on to the next generation, they find it helpless. How to make you comply? Only by saying that if you don't do this, you will get papa. If you do this, you will get punyam. Something like, if you do the homework, I will give you 2 chocolates. Something like that only. It's not much of a difference between the two. So there is all purely a lack of inquiry only. Lack of inquiry, lack of understanding. It is there, very much there in the Sampradaya. In the sense, the Vedika Sampradaya, Orthodoxy, everywhere, all these things are there. That is where it becomes more difficult to get people away from that sort of a conditioned understanding of religion to the real understanding. So the real understanding, a real religion is very different from the popular religion or the conditioned religion. So that is where today's acharyas are finding it more difficult. First, they have to decondition them from all these things, and then ask them to have a fresh look with your logical understanding what it is all about and all that. And by logical understanding, you can remove all these misconceptions. And then what is the reality? Then the Shastra will come in and say this is the reality. And when the Shastra comes and they say this is the reality, then you apply that reality to your own life. And see, yeah, correct, what Shastra says, this is the right way, this is a permanent, this is a way in which I can get Shashwata Moksha, not Asashwata Moksha. Because here and now I can understand life is complete in all its aspects. Whatever changing, changes. Changeless is me. Because of me, since I am changeless, I am able to perceive all these things. And I am able to play whatever role I have got to play. And it keeps changing, it is bound to change because it is changing. It is changeless. So since I have got a value for changeless, I cannot accept changing, whether it is plus or minus. That is why even the apekshika moksha, once the Shastra says, once you chine punye mattalokam visanti, your taste for moksha, apekshika moksha, swargaloka, indraloka and all are gone. Because logically you understand. What is the point in after accumulating so much of punya, if I have to come back, why to accumulate punya? Then what I do? Understand. Understand means what? Study, you under the Acharya and understand what is the reality of your life. Okay, now I have understood. Then what? Then now that you are here and now you are changeless, Purnam, then play your role, whatever role you play, what you call Nimitta Matram Bhava Savyasachi. Yes, play the role without any agenda. So there you will be able to do whatever is supposed to do, you are appropriate to the given situation. If there are 10 choices, you know what is the right in the moment and do the right only. The wrong ones you will not choose because you have no axe to grind. By following a wrong action, whatever gain you get is going to be temporary that you have already learnt. Then what is the point in doing that? Let us do the right action, what is appropriate and keep going. And what about my Lord? My Lord is already understood by the Shastra that I am here and now Purnam. So, as I normally used to say, instead of hunting for happiness, we can happily hunt. That is the way we have to look at life. That is the here and now.
Was the earlier Guru Sishya Parampara, that Guru Sishya study schools and all that, were they teaching this or were they teaching Papam Punyam?
No, this is there definitely is a stream. What today you and I are able to study that because there is a sampradaya which is really undiluted, without any agenda. They have brought whatever Dakshinamurti to Shankara to us, undiluted, unchanged, complete reality. You are getting it through this teaching. But along the lines, a lot of people have taken different routes. Made popular religions, Punya, Papa and all that. That is the majority actually speaking. Very few minority only has taken this trend of Sampradaya. So that is why we keep saying Sadashiva Samarampam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Atmatacharya Paryantam Vante Guru Paramparam. Only this train of Guru Shishya Parampara alone has given this undiluted truth. Everyone else has diluted it depending on the time, and that is why all those other philosophies, Vishishta Dvaita, then other Western philosophies, other religions, all have come with an agenda in view. And if you look at their original, like what they say, Jesus was okay, but Christianity has not followed Jesus. Likewise, Buddha is okay, but Buddhists have not followed Buddha.
And
because the teaching was missing. As you rightly asked, this question of handing over the Sampradaya undiluted has happened only in Advaita. That is why we don't call Advaita as a school of thought. It is Vedanta per se. It is what Veda has told. Antima Nirnaya of Veda is Vedanta. And that is Advaita only. And we can understand also, oneness with Ishvara alone can be the reality of everyone. Even Madhvacharya, anyone for that matter, they wanted God, they want oneness with Bhagavan. But they said, no, it's not possible, so going as near as Bhagavan is okay. But Tatparyam is oneness, right? That is why you want to go near. So, even there, Tatparyam is oneness, but somehow they have not understood. They have not got the right, like the Guru's way with their Guru taught, it has not happened. Whereas fortunately for us, oneness is the reality. It has been the Vedanta, that is Advaita. Advaita Vedanta we have to say because there is Dvaita and Vishya Dvaita. Otherwise there is no need to say Advaita Vedanta as a separate philosophy. It is not a separate philosophy. It is the pure meaning of Veda and Vedanta. Om is the Advaitam only Om. There is no Dvaitam and Vishya Dvaitam in Om. So that is, we have to understand that. Very, very. So this question is there. Why so many people, so many sampradayas, so many people are there. Even the very sincere people, they have only matam and puja and rituals and all that. They don't talk about this. Why? Because of what do you call that? The exact way in which it has been taught, it has not been handed over. That is why Shastra says, Vikra himself one place says, Sampradaya with Murkavat Upekshaniyaha, meaning The person who has not understood and handing over this samyak prakarshena diyate is called sampradaya. In the sense, purnam, without dilution, you have to hand over this understanding to the next generation. Sishya. Samyak prakarshena diyate. Diyate means giving to his full understanding. People ask questions, you have to explain to him everything. Samyak prakarshena diyate is called sampradaya. And the sampradaya, one who doesn't follow sampradaya like this, murkavat, upekshaniyaha, meaning keep a very long distance with him. Don't go near him even. Such an acharya who doesn't give the whole undiluted sampradaya from Dakshinamurti Shankara to you in full measure, complete, without any dilution. Don't even go near him. That is what Shankara says. Sampradaya with murkavat upekshaniya, keep away from him. Why? Because this question is there in the minds of people. Why everyone is not talking like this? What is available to us on a platter from the Sampradaya, why people are diluting it? The question is there. It is because of all these reasons. So, we should thank God that there is why we have to say, we are Pumsam Advaita Vasana. Jantunam Narajanman Durlabam Pumsam Advaita Vasana. For getting into this understanding, you need more blessings than not only just being born as a human being. You need more blessings. That is why we do. Even early part of our life, doing all good karmas, karma yoga and all, punyam, etc. That should be only for channelizing. We should be praying for what? Not for this and Sadguru and all that. We should be praying for Anta Karma Shuddhi. Let me have the internal infrastructure ready for inquiring into this understanding through the Shastra Acharya and get the understanding complete here and now. For that, let me be blessed. For that, let me do all these rituals properly, Nitya Naimitya, Karma, Puja, Vidhi and all that. Only Sankalpam should be in our mind. Yes, let me have Anta Karma Shuddhi, let me have the internal infrastructure where I can understand this. That should be the only, I tell the people here, that should be the only prayer in your life. Not I want this, going to Bhagavan with a list. So, and the Tathparya of our temple worship is also like that. See, in the temple what we do, everything we do Samarpanam, Tan Mana Sapukuch Tera and all we sing nicely. And everything we give. And everyone else also gives. And Bhagavan also is available as Alankaravan, whatever you call it. So, he also stands alone because he is also standing alone and given all the vibhutis in the name of the Alankara Murti and all that. Otherwise, just imagine if Bhagavan himself is sitting there, can you do all this Abhishekam and all? All this Abhishekam and all we are doing, no, just imagine. Can you tolerate that? Not for one moment. He will not bless you, he will curse you. In fact, he knows it is part of the given, including the Murti and all Alankara and whatever you are giving, it's all part of the given. He is the giver. I am the receiver. The receiver also has given everything, whatever he has received to Bhagavan. So, whatever he has given, the receiver also is bad. And Ishvara also is bad. Then bad is what? Desakala Vastu, Aparichinna Vastu. And that is why at the end of the puja, we do the arati with the camphor. And the camphor also vanishes. Having created the oneness vritti between you and Bhagavan, camphor also vanishes. This is the only purpose for which you go to temple. Saranagati Tattvam is what? Whatever, everything is Bhagavan. All that is here is Ishvara Vibhuti. Ishvara is Swarupam. I am also the same Swarupam. Oneness. That is the Tathparya of what we are studying also. That is the way we have to propitiate. If we keep propitiating that, we will come back to study. Having been blessed by Bhagavan in that moment of Arati, we will come back, no, I must know more about this oneness. We will come back to study.
We will continue tomorrow.
Yeah, we will do that tomorrow.
Swamiji, last few classes.
Stop, just mark it.
Evam Trayi Dharmam Anu
Start. Okay. We will start.
Most references you have been making last few classes, especially 4 classes, I have been reading Surya Namaskar where I am seeing some of those references. Even that one you explained previously, Evam ma brahmacharinaha tatarayandu sarvataswaha prativeshu sipramapadyasva. That that part is what is coming from Surya Namaskar. This part that is explained here. So
Even this Rudram, even the Lagu Rudram, Lagu Nyasa is there, no? In that, the whole thing is like that Nirvat, Agnirme Vachisrata, Vagre, Hridayamai, Amanurte, Brahmani, Vayurme, Prane Sata, Prano Hridayamai, Amamrute, Brahmani. Finally, Atma. That also is Brahmani. Punaratma, again, even if you want, again, same Brahmani only. The whole thing is, what you think as explicit outside, finally it's all in the Kritayam and Brahmani. Kritayam by Brahmani. So, the whole thing is from the Swarupa of your own Swarupa only. Agni, Vayu, Apa, Prithivi, Aushadhiya, Atma, that is Punarjanma, everything. Everything is comes from you only, Swarupa. And the same Swarupa is Brahma Swarupa, the Ishvara Swarupa. What the Tattvamasi is all about. So even in the what do you call your Sabarimalaya, when you immediately after 18 steps, what you see is Tattvamasi only.
yeah.
But people don't conveniently forget those things they don't see. Anyway, you have to keep telling only. You can't. You have to. It's all for ourselves. That's why we cannot go about telling others. We have to understand. Once you live it like that, perhaps others will get inspired. Saying that, then when they ask, you can tell. You cannot impose yourself on others, but when they ask, you can tell. That's it. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamudachyate